Jake has spirit.
Maybe there's some weird spiritual higher powers controlling this career.
But we're about to hit a team breathwork session, which is a ritual we've done before every fight. We basically charge up with our breath, and it's like a deep, long meditation.
I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start, but as we saw, I didn't want to put him down early. You all know I was handcuffed. I don't want to say anything that I will be regretting in the future. I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start, but as we saw, I didn't want to put him down early. You all know I was handcuffed. I don't want to say anything that I will be regretting in the future, but all I can say now is the first 20 seconds was enough for me to end Jake Paul.
Family, we're back. Thank you guys for being here. Hey y'all, this whole situation, I don't know, it's so much to unpack. It is so much to unpack. Everything's right in your face. I just feel so many different ways about it, because it's like somebody's bold. But what we're gonna review and react to today is the driver. Apparently he had some words for people, and I'm not feeling it, y'all. He's placing blame on the brakes, an illegal takeover. Just come on, man. What was the truck doing on the side of the road? But first and foremost, this man had only one speck of tropical punch Kool-Aid on him. If this was as bad as they say, if this was totally just as bad as they say, it wasn't messy. So what happened? Did a cleaning crew come in and just hose everything down real fast, or what? You gotta make it make sense. Listen, yeah. Where was the mess? Now, somebody said something in my comments that really, I ain't gonna say it struck a nerve, but it really made me think. And all the people that were out there, why isn't there this abundance of footage on the internet? It was more than enough phones, but we're only getting little pieces of almost the same footage. Do y'all think that that situation was placed there for a reason? Yeah. For like the lack of resources or more scapegoats that you can put out there, as far as all the roads are bad. Everybody knows that. Anyway, check on your people, love your people. It only takes a second to reach out. Let's get to the content.
We can see the headline here, ladies and gentlemen, is not making any sense right now. Anthony Joshua cheated death by swapping seats moments before fatal crash, as his driver, who doesn't have a license or a valid license. I mean, I'm not too sure if that's a license that's out of date, or it doesn't have a license whatsoever. He's been charged, ladies and gentlemen, and is currently being held on bail for about 4 million naira, which is not a lot of money here in the UK, but over there it is a significant amount of money. Let's get into this story. So, I mean, this is a shocking twist. This is gonna get the conspiracy theorists going crazy. But it says here, a shocking twist of fate meant Anthony Joshua cheated death moments before the fatal car crash that killed 2 of his friends. So it says here, the world champion boxer, 36, swapped seats from the front to the back of his SUV before the smash, which killed 2 of his friends. In addition, the Daily Mail has learned that Joshua's driver did not even have a valid driver's license. Coyote goes on to plead not guilty. He claims he is innocent and the brakes failed. The brakes failed. Coyote's lawyer has spoken as well. He says, my client has pleaded not guilty and what has happened was an accident. I haven't had the full chance to speak with him yet, but I know he's saying the brakes did not work. Wow, brakes didn't work. What are we talking about? He says, I also understand that the journey started in Lagos and that initially Anthony had got into the front seat, but the driver asked him to swap seats. If it wasn't for the driver asking him to swap seats, then he would have been Sinner or Latif. He would have been in one of their positions.
All right, now I'm gonna really have to look up how their cars are inside, but it's weird that they say it was person in the front seat, obviously a driver, 2 occupants in the back seat. And they say that the driver told Anthony Joshua to switch because he couldn't see out the back. Okay, we get it. But where the hell is the rear view mirror? Is it over the passenger seat or something, or what? I've had tall people behind me pause with 4 people in the car and I could still see out. Okay, well his shoulders are wide, this and that. Come on, man, make it make sense. Now, the roads, the brakes, the overtaking, and they put emphasis on illegal. What was it? The thing that's really getting me, y'all, is that when you look at the actual big old industrial truck versus the Lexus, the math ain't mathing. It's not mathing at all. It was some reports that said that a person lost their top. The math ain't mathing. I don't see how that Lexus could go under that truck to that capacity to where something like that happens. Now, if that were to happen, were these cadabras? Where was the mess? The boxer only had what looked like a scratch on him, and that looked like his own Tropical Punch Kool-Aid. Read between the lines, y'all. But let's continue.
He goes on to say here that he did this because Anthony is a big fellow and he couldn't see the wing mirror properly. So he asked him to move and he sat behind the driver. Wow. He says here, from what I understand, Latif was in the front and then changed seats with Anthony. From what I understand, Latif was in front and then changed seats with Anthony. I thought I was misreading that. Hold on. How does that make any sense? Did he not just say that Anthony was in the front? Yeah, he did. So how does that make sense? From what I understand, Latif was in the front and then changed seats with Anthony. But just before that, you've said AJ had got into the front seat, but the driver asked him to swap seats. From what I understand, Latif was in the front seat, then changed with Anthony. I don't know, there's something wrong there. Anyhow, bail was set at 5 million naira, £2,580. But under the Nigerian system, it doesn't have to be cash, but valuables are admissible. They'll take anything. Yes, give us anything. Right, so it says Adeyemi was charged on 4 counts, including dangerous driving causing death, reckless and negligent driving, driving without care and attention, and driving without a valid driver's license. What doesn't make any sense to me is why is AJ and his team allowing someone that doesn't have a license to drive them? But it's Nigeria, and look, we can't make these exceptions. We can't just say, oh, well, it's Nigeria. No, like what the hell we got going on here, bro? AJ is not getting into a car in the UK and being driven on the A13, as an example, by someone that doesn't have a license or who isn't legit to drive. It doesn't make any sense. Why is that the case over in Nigeria? Or why can it be any different over in Nigeria? Because we know, there's bare fraudulent man driving around with no licenses and the police don't care about it. So, we just have to accept it. No.
This is crazy. Why aren't people, well, I ain't gonna say why aren't they, like I know they aren't, but we need to look into cell phone records. Who booked this? What company came to chauffeur this guy and his friends? Why did that company employ an unlicensed driver with bad brakes and a speeding problem? Make that make sense, y'all. But don't forget that this man just won a heck of a jackpot in that boxing match. Think about that. There has to be way better vehicles and chauffeur services in Nigeria. It has to be. I don't care what's just in that area, it has to be better vehicles there. Who booked that? What company was that through? Why can't we get a voice of this driver? We ain't gotta have his name, I understand that. But why can't we hear him speak? Let's continue.
Oh no. Last part here just says he tries to swerve and avoid the truck parked by the side of the road, but it hit it. He's been driving for Anthony for 3 years. He's a good driver. He's a good driver who doesn't even have a license to drive. Come on, man. Like, let's just be real here and say it as it is. I know that when the journey started in Lagos, Anthony was sitting in the front by the driver, but my dad asked him to sit behind because he was blocking his view. Why is the son also explaining the same thing?
We're gonna end it right there. Now, I'm not gonna say that the father and son couldn't have spoke about the incident, but why is the son speaking? For what? He's no representative, he's no legal aid that we know of. What's the point with that? Now, it's too many things that add up to other things with this situation. Do your own research. Don't just take these videos and run with them. Do your own research. Go look at the numbers. Go listen to a few interviews at what they talk about with this or just the numerology. I'm not saying it applies. I'm just saying it's interesting and it's a well of a coincidence. I'll say that much. Anyways, I'm out. Let me know if you made it to this point. Say I've made it. Let me know how long you've been rocking and hype me up. I'm out. Peace.